Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Michelle, and we are the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
This is the Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 183 for April 21st, 2025.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you. But may I just say,
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
It's Monday. It's time to go.
Yeah, hi. We're back this week.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, sorry about last week. We had mentioned 2 weeks ago that we might not be recording last week because we were at a media event for the Disney Destiny, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, actually, we had wondered originally if we would have Monday afternoon and evening free to where we could have recorded, but we ended up not finding out till almost like hours before that we actually had media events that whole evening too.
Yeah, it was like a full day experience from like early morning until evening. So
yeah, we had like an hour, 2 hours in the afternoon. That was really it.
Yeah, it was tiring.
It was very tiring, but we're going to talk about that in here in a few minutes. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, sorry we missed last week. We've not done a lot of stuff, but last weekend kind of really wore us both out.
It's so weird because, like we've mentioned before, when we have media events, I don't know if it's because it's like an adrenaline rush and we're just go. And then it's like once it's all over with, like after a couple days, then you're like, I need a timeout.
I think what it is that we get, like you said, the adrenaline, we get so pumped up that we got to make sure we cover everything. We got to be active. We got to be moving. We can't really rest once we start. You're on stage basically, and we have to run from location to location to location, and it's just making sure we get everything. So your brain's going 100 miles an hour, your heart is racing because you're trying to get everything done. Your body physically is
and Disney, when they have us on a tight schedule, it's like your mind is racing because you're like, okay, I only have this amount of time to get enough coverage for this. Then I have to go to the next thing and make sure I do that. And plus, at the same time, posting on social media and all that stuff. But I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just it gets tiring sometimes.
And an event like this, so most of the time when we do an event, it's in the parks. There's a schedule, but it's loosely based. But this one, because we were going on a ship, and that ship was an active ship. It had pulled into port that morning. They were flipping it to take crew out that evening, or that afternoon, I should say.
People were boarding the Wish when we were kind of wrapping things up. So it was just very strange. And we'll explain why we were on the Wish for a Disney Destiny event.
And actually, we can just go into that. That's our first.
You want to talk about it?
Okay. Our first adventures in Florida living. So, as we told you guys last week, we had the Disney Destiny event, media preview event. We checked into the Contemporary last Sunday.
We did.
They wanted us there again because of the time schedule. They wanted everybody who was going to be going to the ship the next day there bright and early Monday morning to get on the buses because we were out to Port Canaveral to hop on the Disney Wish for this event.
Right. So Sunday, they had us check in at the Contemporary. So we did go over there. We did do that. Disney already made us a park reservation for Epcot plus lightning lanes.
Yes.
So, and that's the cool thing when they do stuff at the parks. They will usually have reservations made ahead of time with like lightning lanes so we can actually go on stuff.
Right. Because when we're on these events, even though we have annual passes, Disney gives us a 3-day ticket or whatever. For this event. It was a 3-day ticket with Lightning Lane all 3 days based on the reservation they made for us.
Right. And so, yeah, not everybody, you might be surprised to know that not everybody who covers Disney things actually has annual passes. So some don't live here. So they give everybody park tickets for the day, even though we don't need them. But we decided to go over to Epcot, took the monorail over, which we haven't done the monorail to Epcot in a while.
No, and it wasn't a super hot day. It was crowded, but the weather was perfect.
Yes, the weather was really, really great. Epcot itself was, it's kind of crowded. Yeah,
I thought it'd be more.
Well, it was a Sunday.
Last week and this week probably are a lot busier.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, this past weekend being Easter weekend, I'm sure was crazy. And you can tell by the traffic around town.
Oh yeah,
the traffic is terrible.
Normally it always takes longer in Florida to get anywhere. Our lights are 3 minutes long for a red light. I mean, it takes forever. But when it's like this, it takes double
forever.
So like a lot of times if we have to pick up Aiden at work, we'll leave the Magic Kingdom and we give ourselves a half an hour roughly. We only need like 15 minutes, but we'll give ourselves a half an hour and we'll go wait. It took us over an hour the other day to go get him.
Yes. Now, mind you, it should be like a 10 to 15 minute drive and it took an hour. But anyway, I digress. So we went to Epcot because, again, we had lightning lanes and we couldn't let those go to waste because of Guardians. So we did Guardians and we did Frozen Ever After,
which we hadn't done in
forever,
since before COVID.
I mean,
I thought, but maybe it's not.
I thought we went when they reopened the parks and there was no line. Like maybe. It's not a ride that we will stand in line for.
No, not at all.
No, but we're
Corey loves it. It's one of his favorite attractions of all time.
We'll stand in line 4 hours.
He will, and
that.
he was that first day he was there like 9.5 hours to ride that ride.
It's gonna hurt you. So, and also sidebar, and I talked about this on my podcast Thursday. Disney so graciously gives us dining cards when we cover events. So, like the all day event Monday, they were feeding us, but being that we were coming in the day before, they gave us money to go eat.
Correct.
So we were trying to find some place to eat. So we went back to Via Napoli and they were taking walk-ups.
Yeah, there was no reservations or anything on the app, but when we got there, and it was between lunch and dinner, so it wasn't.
Yeah, we ate around 4, I want to say.
Yeah, so we walked up and I'm like, is there any possible way to get 2 of us in? He's like, yeah, no problem, 15 minutes. And I don't even think it was 15 minutes.
I don't think so either. But we got we got lucky that we got to go in. We got seated pretty quick. It was just the 2 of us. So we got the salad and we got a pizza and I got a sangria, which made me super giggly. That was a good sangria. It was a good sangria.
Yeah, all your stress that for the next 2 days went away as soon as you had that.
For one glass.
I know.
It
makes it work. It wasn't because when they brought it, I was like, "That's all," because it was kind of a small.
It
used
to be a big glass of sangria. Now it's small.
I remember they'd bring you like that little carafe pitcher.
Oh my god! Yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah,
so you probably can get a carafe, but you're going to spend like $50 for it.
You are, but that little drink came, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it got so much smaller compared to what." I mean, not that Disney. It was on the Disney gift card, so we weren't paying for it.
Right.
But still, we're always evaluating: is it worth the cost? Because there's been times you've gotten drinks and they're a swallow for like
they're not that great.
$13, and you say you can't even taste anything. Really.
No, well, prices have gone up, of course, and I didn't want to blow our whole gift card at dinner because just in case we wanted snacks and whatever later.
Right.
But yeah, so. But the sangria, I got the red one. It was so good. I would like to go back and have it again, and maybe 2.
I just want the pizza.
I get real happy. Yeah, the pizza was delicious.
I don't think I would get the salad again.
That was kind of a rip-off.
Because it's a good salad.
It's a delicious salad.
But I think it's $9 per person, and it's not like going to the Olive Garden where they just keep refilling it if you want them
to.
It's
a very small bowl of salad.
It is, and it's mostly lettuce, honestly.
It was good.
And peppers. I mean, it was great, but I don't know if it was worth, in our case, $18 salad.
That is, ow. I just smacked myself with the microphone. Sorry. Oh, my tooth. No, it's not an $18 salad.
That was another sangria.
I could have got another sangria. Next time we're going to chuck the salad idea.
Or we get tiramisu at the end.
Okay. You know what? Let's do that.
Next time we'll shoot for the dessert. Although, had I not had the salad, I probably would have finished off the pizza.
Yep.
So then I wouldn't want dessert then either.
We're just going to have to make adjustments next time. You live and learn.
I know, and they have 3 different size pizzas there. So they have the individual, they have a large, and then they have their large square one, which we've gotten that, or rectangular. We've had that a couple times.
Yeah, when it's not just us, but when it's just us.
And I know you're like, well, let's get the individual. I'm like, no. I'm like, we're getting the large. Because it actually wasn't that much more in price, but we almost finished it.
Almost.
There was like a piece and a half left of the whole.
It was really good.
It was so good.
I'm hungry. We haven't eaten yet, so sorry. We're going to talk about food a lot.
If Via Napoli's listening to this, can we get a delivery? Actually, Pizza Ponte at the Springs is very similar.
very similar,
Different
but I still
ovens.
think there's something about Via Napoli.
And then the Via Napoli, the pizza window next to Via Napoli, that pizza, although the sauce and cheese is the same, the crust is completely different.
But it's still good.
It's still good. It's just a complete different crust. It's a lot thicker of a crust. It's more of a Sicilian style.
Okay, you can really tell we haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, I'm starving.
I
Okay,
know.
we should probably move on.
I want to sing.
So we ate our pizza. We left there. We finished walking around World Showcase. I don't think we stopped really anywhere around World Showcase. We did. Did we see the band that was playing that night? I cannot remember. No, we did.
We did?
It was
It was country
music.
and we walked past it, but we didn't
I can't
stop.
even remember what the lady's name was that was performing. That's sad.
There was a country lady.
Country lady singing.
Sorry, we're not well versed in country
We're
music.
not. So we just continued walking. We walked around World Showcase.
We actually did Guardians after we ate the pizza.
Which probably wasn't the best idea because I felt horrible after.
I did. I know he always feels bad. I mean, we took our motion pills.
Guardians always affects me. It's the backwards movement of it.
No, you know what? And another thing, and I've talked about this. Like Guardians has been out for 3 years already, and I've been talking about it ever since. And I will still remind everybody that if you have problems with motion, ask for the front cart.
Yeah.
And we did not ask for it this time.
No.
And let me tell you, you could feel a
Even
difference.
you noticed a difference.
Even I noticed because we got off. I'm like, I will always wait for the front. Because for whatever reason, when you're sitting in the front, you can focus on things better.
Yeah.
Than just all these crazy surroundings and the twirling and all that. It's so much better in the front. I know some people like the back cart too, but we were in the middle and it was bleh.
Yeah, I felt horrible after we rode that. And we ended up having to walk around for a little bit longer before I felt good enough to do anything else.
Well, and it's funny because like Guardians, every time we stand in line, we always try to guess what song we're going to get. Because it seems like we always get the same song. Conga, yeah. And or September.
Yes, which I like September.
We got Disco Inferno this
We
time.
did.
I was like, wow. Like it's only the second time I've had that one.
You've had them all though.
I have. But I Ran by Flock of Seagulls is still my favorite. It just is. It goes well.
And I
it's
think
like a pairing.
And they'll probably be at Food and Wine this year. Well, he will be here.
I don't know. Either. Well, no, they're actually coming. I want to say for Flower Garden
Oh,
if they haven't already. Yeah,
Oh.
I'll have to look that up. Anyway,
I know his hair doesn't look like it did in the
it does
80s.
not.
No.
No.
Actually, the hair has left the building.
Hair is no longer available.
It is. So dinner, Road Guardians, walked around for a little bit longer. Then we decided, you know what? We have this other one. We never ride Frozen. We haven't recorded it in forever. So let's go ahead and go take this and get on Frozen.
Yeah.
So we went, did Frozen. We recorded it. We actually got stopped towards the end of it when over the Arendelle Castle and there's the fireworks going off, and we just stopped.
We just sat there.
It's after the scene where you see Marshmallow. So the boat backs up, switches the track, and then goes forward again, and then you see the Arendelle Castle before you see Anna and Elsa and
Yeah,
Olaf
like at
singing.
the end of the hill.
And you kept wondering, is somebody going to come crashing into us because of where we
It
were
made me
stopped?
nervous because we just had went down the big hill,
Mm-hmm.
and they stopped us there. And I think the reason that it bothered me or it made me nervous is because you know how what ride bumps boats every single time?
Which one doesn't? Pirates is
the worst.
But also Three Caballeros, you're always bumping. It's not bad, but you always
Pirates, though, man, there could be like a total pile up.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting hit with the boats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's why I was worried because if
Right.
the other boat went down and hit us, like it could be bad.
I think the way that one works, though, is so when the boat backs up above the hill, they stop it before they drop it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you could tell they flat out stopped us from moving. Whatever conveyor belt or system we were on, they just stopped us. And we sat there a lot longer than I thought we would. And I was recording it, so I was like, do I edit this out? Do I stop? Do I restart?
Yeah, I know. But so Scott has been asking for weeks about going to see Happily Ever After.
I needed the momentum boost in my mind because it's been rough for us the last few months.
Yes, it has.
Been a lot of personal business stuff going on, and my brain, usually I'm the one that's always trying to think of what can we do next or coming up with new ideas and stuff like that, and my brain was just kind of turning into mush.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this. It'll be 15 years this year. And even at this point, we still get burnt out. Mm-hmm. And I think that when, we have to juggle our clothing business, the Main Street Mouse, our podcasts, plus our home life.
Yeah, personal life gets in there too. I mean, it's not, and being that kids' lives come even before our stuff. So it's like you got to figure all that into the equation. And then there's that little thing we try to do every night, sleep for a few hours.
And I think we've just kind of had a rough year, but he wanted to go see fireworks. And so we, as tired as I was, I agreed. We went over to Magic Kingdom. We took the monorail over. Mm-hmm. We didn't go back to the Contemporary till after fireworks, right. But we did go to Magic. We walked around. We watched the fireworks behind the castle.
It was crazy busy in front of it, but I didn't even need to see the projections. It was the music I needed to see and then hear the fireworks, because you can see most of the fireworks from that angle. But
yeah, and it's so weird how many fireworks go off way the heck behind everything.
Way behind.
And when you watch it from the front, they look like they're all right there, and they so are not.
No, there is a bunch of them that are on the castle or around the buildings around the castle, but then there's another.
The big ones are far back.
Yeah, there's a launching area that's not even on the immediate property of Magic Kingdom. It is way off property, and remember the one time we were driving late at night. We were leaving Magic Kingdom at like 1 a.m. one of the nights when we first, and they were testing fireworks across the street for Hollywood Studios. Mm-hmm. It was on the other side of World Drive.
Yep.
And it blew us both away because we're like, oh my gosh. And when you're in the park, they look like they're so much closer.
But see, and that just shows you how good Disney is with optical illusion and, forced perspective and all that stuff, because what it looks like really isn't what it is.
Right.
But yeah, it was fine. Excuse me. Sorry. It was fine sitting in the back. Mm-hmm.
And we got to sit. We actually sat on one of the brick walls.
Yeah. Yeah. And didn't we get a snack?
I can't remember if we did or if we
did.
I know we got a snack when we got back to the hotel.
Maybe I don't remember.
I don't think we got one in the park, though. I think we just walked around the park, and then we watched that, and then we kind of
left.
We walked through the store, so you want to see if there's any new merchandise or anything like that.
Yeah, but we had to get back to the Contemporary.
Because we had an early day.
We had a very early day coming. But one thing I do, it's so weird because, like, sidebar. So we live here. We've lived here. And when we go to the parks as annual pass holders, we have, like, especially Magic Kingdom, the TTC from hell. That's where we have to park. Mm-hmm. And it takes forever. So when Disney puts us up on the monorail loop, it's like, quote unquote, like vacation, because we can walk.
Yes.
We don't have to deal with that hot mess express that's after the fireworks at Magic Kingdom.
You walk out of the park. And a lot of times we don't take the resort monorail to one of those resorts. We'll usually walk it, unless it's like the Floridian or Poly. We'd probably take a boat.
Yeah, but we just walked to the Contemporary, and we were tired, but it was way better than waiting on any type of transportation.
But I have to say the fireworks did give me the boost I needed.
Did it really?
It did. It gave me clarity in my head of trying to like just push everything aside and just refocus on where my focus needed to be to get things back. And that's what helps. It helps from the minute I hear Tom Kane with the narrating part. And then there's certain songs that, of course, get me throughout the thing. The Hunchback song, of course, gets me every time. Hercules song. Hercules is a hard one. It just gets me. Even the pirate music that pops up.
Pirate music is just iconic.
It is. So and then you got that with the baddies music. You hear Ursula laugh.
I can hear it in my head right now. Yeah, it's the Tangled part's my favorite.
And then I always like to hear Thor with his That's What Friends Are For.
They're all Ravens cry.
Yes. Right? Which a lot of people I don't think realize that's his voice that does that. The same one who is one of the singing busts in the Haunted Mansion.
The singing bust that when I was little I thought was Walt Disney.
And he's also the voice of Fritz in the Tiki Room.
There's your little history lesson, everyone.
Yes.
So anyway, we walked back to the Contemporary, and we went right to sleep because we had to be up early.
After we got a snack, we went right to sleep.
Oh, I forgot. I was eating French fries at 11:30.
And they had at the Temple Cafe. I never saw it before, but they had chili cheese corn dog nuggets. And I said to you, I have to try it.
And I'm like, it's 11 o'clock.
I don't care. So I ordered them, and they weren't as good as I thought they would be.
You know what? They look super messy.
They were very messy, and I'm just wondering, because we got them to go. We didn't eat at the temple. We got them to go and take them back to our room. So I don't know if maybe being in the box and the steam and everything got them to feel a little mushy. They weren't as good.
I don't know. My fries were pretty good. And then I had ordered, it was like a peanut butter pie type of thing, but it was like gluten-free. I don't know. I don't care about that. I just go for the flavor.
Yeah.
And it was good. And
I was going to say you ate on it for 2 days.
I did, because I couldn't eat a whole piece of like this. And it was like thick. It wasn't like regular pie. It was like really thick. And I couldn't eat all of that before bed, so I ended up saving it. But I ate like half because we had to be up early. We got up at 6:30?
6, yeah, something like that. Because they had a breakfast for us from 7 till about 8, and that's 8 o'clock is when they started boarding the buses. And we were in group 1 on bus 1, so we were one of the first ones that were getting on the buses. So we had to make sure we got down there, had time to eat our breakfast.
Do the media check-in and get our media badges and all that stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention, when we got back to the resort Friday night, we had a little bag in our room.
Oh, that's right.
And it had, it was an early preview of some of the Disney Destiny merchandise. I had a pair of ears. They gave you a hat. And we got pins.
And a set of pins, which was really cool to get that kind of merchandise. Because usually we don't see anything until we're actually onto the ship or we're leaving the ship and they give us our bag. So it was kind of cool that they got something.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I knew we were going to see merchandise the next day, but that was kind of fun. So anyway, we get up super early. We drag ourselves to the convention center to have breakfast. Now, when we went into the breakfast, it was themed for villains, almost like a Maleficent's lair type of thing with black chairs and everything was kind of dark and purple.
And I didn't expect decor for breakfast at all. I didn't expect any kind of decorations or anything. I thought we walk in there, we eat breakfast, and we're out.
Usually it's just plain old tables. It's bright in there. We go in, we get our food, and we wait for our number to be called. So they had it set up real nice. It was very villainous. And
because the ship's theme is heroes and villains.
Heroes and villains.
So
we ate our breakfast. I don't really fully remember everything I ate, but I know that Maleficent came out before they boarded us on the bus.
Right. So the lady who runs all of Disney's media public relations, the vice president for, I think, is it just Cruise Line?
She's Cruise Line, yeah.
Just Cruise Line. She came out, she spoke to us for a little bit, just telling us what we're going to see that day, that we were a very select group of media that were chosen to be there to represent, to be a part of this media event.
Yeah, it kind of made us feel special because
really
she said guys were all handpicked for this event. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
I know, that felt great. And then she said something about Maleficent, and then all of a sudden you hear the laugh. And
she comes whipping out.
Yep. And she was that was really good Maleficent.
That was a really good Maleficent. She didn't take photos with anybody. No. It was more like she came out to cackle at us and
threaten us.
Yeah, threaten us and then wish us like we're, mention something about the ship. But so then we went out in the hallway and we were in bus number 1. So we went and got on a bus and it was morning rush hour. So it was going to take over an hour to get there.
Yeah.
So we had a nice bus ride out to Port Canaveral.
I could have used motion sickness on the bus ride.
Okay, you guys, listen to this. We had the wildest bus driver ever.
Well, he used to run Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh my gosh. Turn the corners fast, slamming on brakes. We were all just looking at each other like, are we going to get there okay?
I know, I was trying to find a seatbelt.
I know. Oh my gosh. Crazy bus driver. So anyway, we get to the ship.
Terminal, yep.
At the terminal, and they loaded us in towards the bottom of the ship.
Right. We were actually going through the entrance that the cast members enter on who get off the ship to do whatever they want to locally, but because I remember as we're walking on, it said cast must be back on board by 3:30.
Yes, and then they had the stairways that come out like when you're in port.
Right.
You get it back on the boat to the bottom.
Yes.
So we got into the ship. And being that we were below where they were checking people in or whatever, there's like a gym area. And they had the gym set up with Disney Destiny banners and the merchandise and concept art and some of the food.
And Spider-Man and Black Panther were in there. when we first walked in.
They were, but I skipped the character meets.
I got pictures, but that was it.
Because I wanted to go right. I know what my people like.
You need to get to the merch.
I need to get to the merchandise. So I went over there as quick as possible. So I got to see the ears that I got the night before because we were super confused what the theme was.
I thought it was Tron.
I thought it was Tron too. It was Superhero Mini.
Yes.
But those weren't the only things. So they had like Loungefly and ears for that. They had a couple other Loungeflies. They had a Dooney that looks like just like
different ship. Yeah,
different
it looks like
ships.
Ship Hall almost.
Of course, spirit jerseys, pins.
Oh my gosh, I want the Spider-Man spirit jersey so bad. I
know.
don't need it. I was talking to Lou about that, and Lou goes, "I am not a spirit jersey guy, but this is one I have to have because Spider-Man is at the back of the ship. He is on the back of the ship. So
Him and the Spider Bots, like they have
Yes.
out at Avengers Campus.
Yes, so it's definitely for any Marvel fan. This is finally a ship that's going to cater to somewhat to the Marvel fan.
Yes, because the statue in the atrium is Black Panther.
Correct. And Loki will be on the ship.
Yeah, so those of you who have cruised before, when you walk in, when they announce your family, there's the balcony up towards your right.
Yes.
And like the Wish has Rapunzel and Flynn.
Jasmine and Aladdin were on the treasure.
On the treasure. Well, Loki is going to be on this one, which I approve of.
And he wants to take over the ship.
Yes, and he's gonna like talk smack and want to take over the ship.
Yes. I think I can't wait to see that, honestly, because I've wanted so long for because we've done Marvel Day at Sea.
Yeah.
But that's really all the Marvel you get on any one of these ships. Just that one
They
day.
have the Marvel dining.
Yeah, but it's I like the character. The Marvel Day at Sea was my absolute favorite day I've ever been on any Disney Cruise Line ship in the history of all the ships we've been on.
In the history of cruising.
That was the greatest day ever. Ended with the most fantastic fireworks show at the end of the day I've ever seen in my life.
Atwood's best day ever.
It was, and I think a Marvel ship is needed. A full Marvel ship.
Hey, well, this is more Marvel-ish than like, okay, so my girl Rapunzel just got the outside of the ship.
She did, but she's got a really good restaurant and a good show.
But the restaurant's on the Magic.
Yeah, but that's the one they do Marvel Day at Sea.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's you're totally,
sorry.
We're totally pulling a squirrel here.
Okay, back to going to the ship to see the merchandise, the little snacks they showed us. They had a presentation where they kind of showed us some of the things that are going to be on the ship on the video.
Yeah, so they showed us the concept art of the atrium. And that's where we saw Black Panther and we saw Loki. And then so one of the big questions that people had asked, at least because I read comments, was and we talked about this the other day. The Wish has Hyperspace Lounge in that one popular location. The Treasure has the Haunted Mansion Parlor in that same location.
The greatest lounge in the history of
lounges.
Lounges.
It's right.
Yes.
They're never going to beat that.
Never.
So they announced what's going to go into that space for this one, and it's the Sanctum Lounge for Doctor Strange.
Correct. Doctor Strange Sanctum, which is the building in Doctor Strange's movies and such where he lives, and
the place looks like a library.
Yeah, all the sorcerers, that's where they all train. They do all this stuff. So there's 3 of those around the world, and one of them is going to be coming to the ship. Okay,
so you want some truth here?
You're not excited about it.
I could have been.
You've never seen Doctor Strange.
No, let me finish. Wait, let me explain. All right, so when they put out the concept art for the Haunted Mansion Parlor,
correct,
we knew that there was going to be all kinds of stuff going on.
Correct.
You know, you knew that it was going to be a very interactive, immersive type of lounge. And there is a lot of stuff in there to see.
There is more than the concept art ever showed.
It's just it's so good. I can't even explain it. So I saw the concept art for this, and I was kind of like, wah, wah, only because you put that Haunted Mansion Parlor out there, it is going to be a hard thing to beat.
It is. And if you don't know Marvel and you don't know the Doctor Strange and all that, you really might not understand a lot of the concept art that they showed. I was excited. As a Marvel fan and knowing it all, I was very excited to see what they were doing.
Well, you know, it could be lame and you would like it because, you know, you love Marvel so much.
Although I love Star Wars and Hyperspace Lounge, I was disappointed.
It was a letdown.
I was so disappointed in that one.
Yeah, and they hyped that one up so big. So, I mean, I of course, I will give it a chance, but I don't think anything is going to beat the Haunted Mansion Parlor. I don't.
Very hard. But I hope they learn something going from Hyperspace Lounge to the Haunted Mansion, that the more interactive they make it, the more Easter eggs, I guess you could say, in that room is going to make it that much better for the guests. Now, everybody we know who's been in the Haunted Mansion parlor did not want to leave. Nobody was like a one and done. Everybody was like, I'm going back there every evening of my cruise, and I'm going to sit there and just look around, because the Haunted Mansion parlor, as we talked about, it's a different show depending on where you sit in the room.
Yes. And now, mind you, the Treasure has only been sailing since December. And honestly, when I hear feedback about the Treasure, the Haunted Mansion parlor is always the first thing people talk about because it's that good. Now, for those that maybe have missed the memo, the Destiny is the same setup as the Wish and the Treasure.
It's part of that Wish class of ships.
Yes. So it's going to be the exact same layout, but the different lounges and spaces are different themes.
Correct. And that's so the hyperspace that lounge where the hyperspace is, the Haunted Mansion 1 and the Sanctum are going to be, is in the same spot on all three ships.
Yes.
So if you've been to either of the other, if you've been on either the Wish or the Treasure and been there, that's exactly where the Sanctum is going to be, that exact location.
You know what's funny though, because so we were on the media sailing for the Wish, and then we had been on after it.
Yes.
You know, so we've been on the Wish more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we did the Treasure in December for the media sailing, it's so strange because like we went on the ship. And we'd never been on that ship ever. But yet it was familiar because we knew where everything was at.
Yep.
Because, like, I knew exactly where the Haunted Mansion parlor was going to be.
Yep.
And then, like, on the Wish, it's Tiana's little lounge across the way.
But this one was the Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, yeah. So,
and then the Aristocrat Lounge
is going to be Cruella's.
Is going to be Cruella's on the new one. And then what was that on the Wish? I can't remember if it was just a piano bar. I don't think it was themed. Was it on the Wish? I can't remember.
Oh, because
it was Aristocats for the Treasure, because I remember they had paw prints on the piano and such.
That's gonna bother me now.
But I'm actually looking forward, and we hadn't gotten that far yet, but I'm actually looking forward to the Cruella Lounge after what we did see later in the day.
Yes, it's going to be interactive. She's going to be out there. Spoiler alert. She's
Correct.
going to be part of the entertainment, which I was confused about. Only because it's so small.
Space,
How are they going? We never, I mean, truth be told, when we go on the ships, we never go into the piano bar lounge because it's so small.
It fits. So when we go in there with the media, because they always take us in, there's a media group, and there's like 25 of us, 25 of us.
It's packed.
And it's packed with us in there. Now, they may have a little table set up. They may have a little bit extra stuff in there for us to see when we're in there, but it's still very crowded in there. And it's just not the kind of place where I don't think we're going to go hang out. But I will go see the Cruella one because I do want to see the show they're going to do.
Yes. So people had asked about other spaces and other themes, and they really haven't said that yet. So we're getting the information the same as you. And it's so frustrating because we're there, and as we're seeing all these things, the Disney Parks is dropping the news at the same time. And it's like, no, we're supposed to surprise you. That's why we're here.
Right.
So when we were there, Superhero Minnie came out for her debut.
Yes.
And that picture was dropping at the same time she came out. So, you know, the guests, they put out a picture, but we got to see her in her superhero outfit.
And it was pretty cool.
And then it made sense. The ears we thought were Tron matched Minnie's superhero dress.
Exactly.
So she walked out, and I was like, oh.
It all clicked.
Because a lot of people were like, do you know what these ears are supposed to be? Because none of us really could figure it out, and it matches her outfit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have it on my socials. I got a quick picture with.
You were one of the first ones to get up there and get a picture with her.
I was, you know what? I think I was fourth in line, which is kind of cool, being that she was never seen before.
Right.
But they were trying to get us to take a picture and keep it moving. And sadly, the quote-unquote influencer crowd doesn't do that. They got to take video and pretend to laugh and jump and smile. And the cast member is like, take your picture and move.
And it's sad because there's so many people in the room who want that picture.
Yes.
But this is such a limited time event. And that was just our first stop of the day. We had one more stop, and then they were going to feed us lunch on the ship. But it's like we're on a very tight time schedule. And if you're supposed to take a minute and you take 5 minutes, you just robbed 4 other people of their minute.
They said 30 seconds. Walk up, get your picture,
and some were there for a few minutes. And people don't realize that an extra minute robs 2 other people of their chance.
Well,
but a lot of sadly, There's some influencers who do care, but there are some out there who it's like, I don't care about other people. I'm going to get what I want for my people, and that's all that I care about.
Yeah, it's really irritating. So after that, they took us to the Walt Disney Theater on the ship, which is where they do all the shows on each ship.
Correct.
And the new show for the Destiny is Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to talk to the people that are putting it together. We got to see the people talk about the puppets that are going to be part of it.
Which look really cool.
I mean, really big puppets, by the way. It just from the concept art, it looks like it's going to be pretty spectacular, I think. It does.
And the person who did the Moana show on the Treasure is actually the overseer of this show for Hercules. And then they brought in these brothers who are doing they're the producers, I guess, of the show or directors of the show.
They went around casting and so a lot of preparation has gone into this production.
For a few years, it sounded like they said. And what the brothers were talking about as far as all the work they've done, that they're actually it's Hercules, and they're taking the story of Hercules, but they're going to kind of put a little bit of twists on it to make it kind of more modern, I thought, is the way I was taking it.
Sounds that way. And it kind of reminds me of the Little Mermaid show on the Wish, how they modernized that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like that.
Right.
But I have hopes for it. And the music of Hercules is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that people give it a chance. I mean, I don't know. Some of the ships. Okay, I'm going to be honest. There's a few shows on the cruise ship that I could take or leave.
Right. No, and I think everybody kind of feels that way. There's certain shows depending on what ship you're on.
Yeah, some are like, man. I don't know.
I mean, it's something to pass the time, but if you've seen it once, you really don't need to go back to see it again. Like the Golden Mickeys, we will always see it because there's the Tangled scene in it.
Yeah.
That you always want to see. I love the Beauty and the Beast show. I think it's phenomenal.
I know you
actually. Moana show I thought was really good. Just the transformation on stage of the puppets.
Yes, and the Tangled show on the Magic is a tearjerker.
Yes, but the Hercules one, we were actually surprised they actually brought out the gentleman who's going to be playing Hercules.
Yeah, so he sang.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cannoli. I have a video on our Facebook page. And when he hit those high notes, it almost went through your soul. I mean, it was like...
And it reminded me of hearing the music on the castle the night before.
Yes.
Because he hits it... He probably does it as well, if not better, than the original version of the song.
It's crazy. So there's a lot of potential with that show.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited just from the previews that we got. So I can't wait to hear more. And that's one thing about these ships, like... especially now that we're familiar with the ships, we know we can visualize what's going to go where.
Right.
So when they come out with more information, you can kind of say, okay, that's going to be where this is on this ship, or that's going to be over here.
And that's what I was going to ask you. So the other big spaces is Periscope Pub, which is on the Treasure. Yeah. I'll be curious to see what they do in that. So, and that is a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea version on the Treasure. Yeah. The Treasure is more of a park ship.
The Treasure is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's a lot of park references. And if you're a park fan, you're going to love the Treasure.
The Treasure is perfect for theme park fans.
Yes. So I'm curious, what'll go in Periscope Pub?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Or in a lounge across from the Sanctum.
Yes. I can't wait to see what they do with all this. And I'm itching to know. The one great thing we had, though, is at the breakfast when they were saying, well, you were the hand-selected group to be here for this media preview, they did allude to the fact that we will all be invited on the media sailing, because we never know. We don't take it for granted.
No.
And I'm still not taking it for granted, even though they said that.
Yeah, because they were saying stuff like, well, you guys will see in November. And we're like, oh, we will we?
But I don't take it for granted because anything can happen.
They can change up that list. They could have to cut the list.
Right.
But,
or the ship could be delayed and there might not be a media sailing.
There
honestly.
might not be. But we're hopeful.
Yeah, we're hopeful.
So we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll see. But the ship is very exciting. But yeah, there's a lot of questions I have. What we'll see. I am excited about the Hercules show. I'm very excited about the Sanctum Lounge. But that's really all they've kind of showed us what it would be there for entertainment.
Right. And then before we got off the ship, they put us in the restaurant 2023, I'm sorry. And it wasn't their typical menu. They pulled stuff from all the menus on the ship.
Right. They pulled a different item from each of the restaurants to let us choose from as far as our entree. The appetizer was like a little thing from each. It was
a sampler.
Yeah, and the dessert, which was the best part of the whole meal.
So all right, y'all know, I'm a picky eater. I don't eat half of that stuff.
Very picky eater.
But they had a pasta dish from Palo as one of the choices, and I'm like, I know what I want. So I had and it had fresh mozzarella slices. It was almost like, it was just like a pasta dish.
Marinara sauce.
Yeah, kind of a marinara. It had a little kick to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh my God, my stomach is growling. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But those desserts, there's something about, like, truth be told, I don't love the food on a cruise ship because I am a picky eater.
And there's a lot of seafood on these ships.
And I don't eat it.
And you would think I would be excited about Pirate Night. I'm not, because Pirate Night means
fish,
almost all seafood, and I can't eat it because I will have a problem. I'll be in the infirmary.
Yeah, we're just, but I will say, because I don't eat most meat, and they're pretty accommodating.
Yes.
And if I say, like, can I have this without bacon, or if I can have this, whatever. But that, oh my gosh, that pasta was good. It was worth the trip out there and with the crazy bus driver, just that pasta.
Well, I got the chicken schnitzel that is part of the Marvel restaurant's
that
food.
looks good.
And again, customized, because the one on there is made with anchovies. And I was like, is there any way to get it without the anchovies? Not a problem at all. They don't even question it. There's like no anchovies.
It was like panko crusted chicken.
Yeah, it was really good. It was very good. A lot of people had the beef tenderloin.
Right.
That they had that looked really good. All the food actually looked great.
Yeah, so I enjoyed lunch. So then we get back on the bus to Crazy Bus Driver.
Same bus driver. We
were kind of hoping not, because we just ate.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a quicker ride back, like 45, 50 minutes, because we were not driving in rush hour. And so they let us back up at the Contemporary, and then we had like 2 hours to kill before we had to be back for the cocktail hour, because they were talking about the Corella Lounge, which we didn't know.
Right. Yeah, we had no idea if it was going to be any kind of themed. We thought they would talk about it, but we didn't know they would. We walked into this Corella or this reception before dinner. Holy cow. They took one of those full convention rooms and turned it in the Corella Lounge.
They really did. They had like the polka dot, like piano, and different black, white, and red decor.
Her name on the floor, on the big dance floor with her name written.
Yes. So, and then some of the 2 of the drinks that are going to be in her lounge, which was really cool. And it's weird because they told the influencer group what it was going to be, and they told them to dress in red, white, and black. Well, us that are considered like real media, they didn't tell us.
No, they didn't. They forgot to tell us.
So we're all wearing regular clothes. I had a pink dress on.
And a lot of us had Marvel stuff on because we knew Marvel was like part of the ship.
So they did not specify that, but that's okay. So I had a drink. It was called a Fashionista, and it was like a strawberry banana tequila.
You liked it. You said it was really good.
You know what? It really was good. It was really, really good. I'd love to be able to copy that. But so we did that, and then so they pulled part of the wall away to walk into the next room, and it was all Lion King.
Correct. And so the other dining option on this ship, I think you're going to have the Marvel one, and you're going to have 1923. But I think where it's Frozen and Coco on the Wish and the Treasure,
it's going to be Lion King.
This is going to be the Lion King. And they did it was kind of set up
how it's going to be.
So you had the stage in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
All the tables kind of surrounding the table. Now ours was like a buffet almost. It wasn't where they served us. You had to go up there and get your own food. But it was kind of cool. And the food, the one thing, again, it was a lot of seafood. But I did find a dish I ate. It was a short rib, which wasn't good. It was good. The potatoes were good. The green beans were good. The meat was good.
I had it without the meat. I had the green beans and potatoes. And they were the best flippin' potatoes I've had in a very long time.
And the pineapple upside down cake they had for dessert was really good.
I got something that was really chocolatey. I don't know what it was. It was like a
I had that also, but the pineapple one beat it.
Yeah.
It was
so
much better.
But you can tell there's going to be like the food. There's going to be certain spices and such. I think it's going to be hard for me to find food there as well.
As long as there's a vegetarian option that you can. The one good thing about anybody who is kind of like you and very fussy about the food they'll eat and such, Disney does allow adults to order off the kids menu. Disney will let you
do a bit.
There's a lot of times we'll go into the restaurants and we'll look at the menu, the adult menu, and the salad will have something in it, or this will have something in it, you don't want it, and we'll be like, can we get the salad off the tossed salad from the kids menu?
Because it's just a regular salad with dressing.
Salad.
It doesn't have weird stuff in it.
I know. So on the Wish, and a lot of people have agreed, the frozen meal is really not a great meal option, food option. A lot of people don't like it. There's people who do.
The floor show is nice.
Floor show is great.
The food itself, though, and we've heard from travel professionals that it is the the lowest rated dinner at sea.
Yes, and Disney is working to change that. We found that out, that they were talking and trying to come up with a better menu. We haven't know if it's been put into effect yet, but we both ordered off the kids menu. Becky ordered off the kids menu when we ate there the one time too.
Our sponsor, she was like, eh. Yeah. But I'm hoping that Disney pays attention to like the guest feedback, because I don't know anybody. Even when we did our media cruise, and it was when it was Frozen night, everybody was so disappointed.
They were. The show is fantastic. I'm not going to take any. It almost reminds me of a character dining experience. The food isn't that great, but you're paying more for the character.
For the characters.
And in this case, you're paying for the show. Now, Coco, I thought the food was much better.
Much
and
better.
It was a good show.
And it was a good show.
Yeah, the Coco one I would gladly do again, because I thought the food was really good in there. And they bring you the chips and the salsa and stuff at the beginning of the meal. It's just really good, and we love Mexican food, so that's why I think it worked really well for us. This one for Lion King is African based. The food was good, what I had, but again, there's a lot of shrimp, there was a lot of fish, and I can't eat either of those. So
there was
a lentil soup, I think it was. Or
no thanks. I don't know. And then they had like different meats that I wouldn't eat either. So, but I feel bad because it's very hard for me to give you guys like an honest. A really good review when it comes to food, being that there's so much I don't eat. Right. So when I say that I don't like something or I wouldn't eat it, I mean, by all means, try it if you like that kind of food. It's
Correct.
Just hard for me. That's all.
Because I know other people at our table who did try the other foods. They all said they were fantastic. And these are people I do trust.
Yeah, it's just me. I'm such a weird eater. I apologize.
So, yeah, I think you guys are going to be excited with the Destiny. I'm excited to see what more is going to be announced. So far, what they've shown us, I'm really excited to see where it's going to go from here, because I think it can only go up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So if you guys stay tuned, more and more information will be coming out. And as soon as we hear, we will definitely share it.
For sure. So I guess we should move on, because we are like 46 minutes into our show already.
Holy. Okay, go ahead.
So the other things, like I said, we didn't do much. That was last weekend. Then I got sick. I didn't feel good most of the last week, so we really didn't do much. We just did our normal running around, but I was drained and just sick, cold, whatever you want to call it. So we kind of stayed home a lot. Then Saturday we were planning to have friends over for WrestleMania, the first night of WrestleMania. Not that we're super huge wrestling fans, but it's just fun to get together with friends.
We have friends that are, and we're like the hosting house. We're kind of like nominated to host the wrestling.
But so we had Greg, Holly, their family, Chuck and Karen came over, and then Ronnie came over as well. And it was just fun to be all together.
Yeah, we had a good time. I actually enjoy the wrestling parties, not for the wrestling, but just for the food.
I was going to say the food's the best part.
The food and just gabbing with everybody. But it was a good time.
It was.
I always enjoy it. That's one thing. Like I miss having company. And that was one thing about like when we lived in Michigan. Everybody could be close.
Somebody has a party once a month, or somebody has a get together every 6 to 8 weeks, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, my family was all about get-togethers, and especially getting together to eat.
But even if it was just when we lived there on a Friday or Saturday night, if we had nothing else to do, your mom and dad would be like, "You guys want to come over?" And
or you guys want to go get Italian food?
Yeah, you want to go get something to eat, or you want to go do this. So it was just always getting together with somebody to do something. But here, everybody's so spread out, it really doesn't work.
So we don't all we can't get together as often.
But it was so much fun on Saturday. I had a good time Saturday night.
I did too.
I did. It was a lot of fun, and just to kick back, relax, have some fun, laughs, eat some good food, and then we relaxed afterwards after we cleaned up.
I don't mind being the nominated house for these events, because I'm like, yeah, come on over, it's fine.
I love being the nominated house only because I don't have to drive home afterwards.
I know, right?
I know that sucks.
We have to clean up the kitchen, but we don't have to drive anywhere. So yeah, and then yesterday was Easter Sunday.
Yes. We had our family dinner. Which is not a typical Easter dinner. I did barbecue chicken and corn and potatoes and beans and rolls and stuff. So, but it's what we like. So.
Yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing. When picky eaters have their own holiday dinner, you can choose what you'll eat.
That's true.
Or what I'll eat anyway. And the boys like just grilled chicken and stuff like that.
It worked out great. It was good, and we had leftovers today. So it was all
good.
It was
and
perfect.
then today we got a huge shipment of Lost Princess apparel.
All that is on its way to All that.
Skirts and leggings, everything new. Everyone who pre-ordered, you're getting your stuff.
Yep, they are. It's on the way, and the extras are on the site now. So by the time you hear this, the extras are there.
Oh, are they there?
They are already there, actually, right now. We just haven't announced that they're there. But if they go to the website and go to new in stock, they will see the stuff that's there. We have quite a. I don't want to say we have a lot of things because some of them are really limited in sizes and patterns, but there is stuff there for sure. So don't miss out. If you see it today, you might not see it tomorrow.
Right,
so.
and ladies, listen up. Our skirts are life-changing because they are so comfortable.
Everybody keeps saying that to us.
They are shorts and a skirt put together. They have a pocket underneath, and you avoid chub rub in the summer. And I think I'm going to live in skirts like for the next probably 5 months.
I know. I think you took almost every one of them.
I probably did.
We had 9 of them. I think you have at least 8 of them.
I think I took all but one, and I don't remember which one. But yeah, so yeah, go do that. But other than that,
I wanted to ask you though about our skirts. So the shorts underneath it, do they normally match the pattern of the skirt, or are they usually just a solid? Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same pattern.
Okay, I was just curious.
So that way, if it flies up when you're getting on a ride, it matches.
No, I know. Just for anybody curious, we've been getting so many reviews on these skirts. The last order, now this order, we'll get it, and we're probably gonna have to do another order because
they're in demand now.
People are bugging us. They're like, when is the next pre-order coming up for skirts? Because they want new patterns and such.
But they are great.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm sorry. I say, why do you think I took them?
No, I know.
Because I will live in those things.
Oh, I know. For the summer, they'll be perfect.
I need to be comfortable, especially when we go to a park, because you're sweaty, you're miserable.
But in Florida, they would work all year round, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
And even if it got colder, you could always put leggings underneath them.
Tights.
Or tights underneath them, couldn't you? So, yeah.
Anyway, they're awesome.
Anyway, I guess we should get through our news events. I just want to mention this week on, I think it's Thursday, we do have a media event at Epcot in the Italy Pavilion.
Yeah.
We're going there to sample some new foods that are coming to the 2 restaurants back there. So stay tuned to your social medias with
and
the
gelato place.
And the gelato
so
place.
Like
that
whole,
makes it all worth it.
Right? The whole pavilion, they are having like a sip and see type of thing.
Sweet.
But yeah, so that'll be Thursday morning. It's my favorite pavilion, so I am excited for that.
And I just want to mention again, so next month we are going to be at Disneyland for the 70th media event kickoff. We'll be there the 13th through the 15th, and the actual official kickoff, the 70th celebration, starts on the 16th of May. But we will be there for the 2 days before, so stay close to your social media to watch all that. And
we will remind you.
We will remind you. Also, right after we get back from that, a few days later, we're going to be at Epic Universe for the media party, I guess you could say it's going to be for all that happenings, and that's from the 19th through the 22nd, and that park opens on the 22nd. And then also Disney's Hollywood Studios will have an event the day after Memorial Day. We're assuming it'll be an event, but that is when the 27th, when the new Villain show and the new Little Mermaid show start on those days. So we will be there to make sure we get coverage of that. So if you're not there for yourself to see it, check out our social media because we will have coverage for you guys to check it out.
Yes, please do. We work really hard to make sure we get all that out for you.
Okay, so I'm just going to run down the news stories. We have a lot because, again, we weren't here last week, so there's quite a few of them this week. If there's any you want to talk about or give a little bit more information, great.
Just let it roll. Go ahead.
And just so you know, in the show notes, if you click any of these titles, they will take you to the website. You can read more about what we're talking about really quick. Okay. So the first one was celebrating 30 years of a Goofy movie with Bill and Jason. Bill Farmer and Jason Marsden are actually friends of ours. We've gotten to know them. They've been at the expo. Jason's been there for every expo. Bill's been there for 2 of the 3 expos.
Wonderful people.
Fantastic people. Bill is still one of them. Driving Bill to the airport is still one of my greatest memories, and one of my greatest things that's ever happened to me was driving him to the airport and hearing him talk and going in and out of Goofy's voice as we're just driving down. We were just having real conversations. Was just a blast for me to hear.
And I just love Jason. We have a similar sense of humor, and him and I joke around a lot. And I love Jason.
He's just a great guy. There was an article out there. I don't know if you wrote this or when is the cheapest time to visit Walt Disney World? You put it out like 2 weeks ago, so you might not even remember, but it was just like a little...
I do so much, I don't remember.
It's just a little thing to let you know, like, cheapest time. And I don't know if there really is a cheapest time anymore. There used to be.
So the premise of the article was that with the specials that are out for summertime is actually the cheapest because they're running deals for like kids, families, whatever. So that's what that was about.
And actually, one of the news stories I have later is about a new deal that just dropped today for next year, right?
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But there's a new Tauntaun bucket from Star Wars, popcorn bucket that dropped at Disneyland, which I really want.
Well, You know what? Good luck, because there's the scalpers buying them all.
Oh, I know. They buy them all up. Especially there, you see people walk out with the picture with 30 buckets around their shoulders.
Super terrible.
It makes me mad.
Right.
We put out another. This was our older article, but we reused it. It was the history of Disney's Discovery Island. The original Discovery Island.
Yes.
Not the one at Animal Kingdom, but the original
Yeah,
island.
the real one.
So we put that, Corey wrote that years ago, and we just...
the abandoned one.
Yes. The Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin is debuting a new restaurant because Shula's is actually closing.
People went nuts about that. They're not happy about
No, because Shula's was a fan favorite, and I know at the Food and Wine Classic... At the Swan and Dolphin, Shula's is always one of the booths that's the most busy.
Has the longest line.
Yeah, because they have their steak sandwich, which is just
I don't get it, but I know that just from our comment section, people were not happy.
No, they're not happy. I don't know if Shula's pulled out or if they let them go. Swan, I'm curious.
I don't know. I didn't think there would be as much outrage as there was, but there was a lot of outrage.
A lot of it. We also put out another article about saving 25% off your next Disney cruise that came out. So if you're interested in that, reach out to our official travel partner, MEI Mouse Fan Travel. They'll be able to help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus subscribers, there's actually a deal now for you at Walt Disney World to come visit Walt Disney World. If you're a Disney Plus subscriber, you can actually save on your trip here.
Yeah, they're having all kinds of specials. I don't know why all these specials are coming out, but it's good to take advantage of.
And I will say, if you're unsure, because there's so many specials, reach out to MEI.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many specials, you might not realize all the specials that are out there.
It's their job to know. We don't know
their
everything.
They're going to get you the best deal they possibly can. And if the price changes, they're also going to get you the difference back. So they will help you guys out. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's stress-free, so make sure you reach out to them. The Grand Floridian is going through a lobby renovation.
Yeah.
And we put that out, and they had some concept art of what it's going to look like. There's a bar going in. Where the
people are
cage
mad.
wasn't it?
Yeah, people are mad. And then there's talk that they're not going to be able to do the gingerbread house this year.
I heard that no gingerbread, which is going to be so disappointing at the Floridian.
Right? Like, come on.
Take away any of the other ones, but not the one, not the Floridian one, because that's the one that everybody goes to see. So
yeah, people weren't happy about that either.
No, I'm on board with them. I agree with that one.
Same.
Another thing that came out was Disney Japan plush and keychains are coming to DisneyStore.com, and I know in Japan they get all these plushes and these animals that everybody goes nuts over.
They love all the plush out there.
So they're going to be on DisneyStore.com. You don't have to go to Japan.
They already are.
They already are. Disney Adventure World and more updates came out, more construction updates on what's going on with that, so you can read about that more. Disneyland Paris, they gave you a new insider look at the Lion King attraction that's coming there, which looks really cool.
Looks like Splash Mountain, kind of.
It kind of does, but I know Paris is on our bucket list to go because of the Tangled, but or Phantom Manor more than anything.
Well, now they're going to have a Tangled ride that's opening too, but...
And that leads into the next one where Mandy Moore is lending her voice to the new Tangled attraction coming.
She is.
That just makes your heart so happy, doesn't it?
I really need to go.
Then we have an article we put out about villainous experiences aboard the Disney Destiny. So this was one of the articles that we put out the day we were on the ship that we saw. Also, the dining and beverage experiences of the Disney Dynasty. We have an article that goes in a little more depth about that for you guys. Something that came out, and it wasn't really announced, but we kind of saw it, and we put it out, was the VI pass holder summer days coming to Walt Disney World from May 14th to the July 31st. We don't know what it's going to involve yet. I know they said a new magnet and some other things, but there is going to be something special for the pass holders.
Always a magnet.
It's always a magnet, but there's going to be other stuff for the pass holders. So on your app, make sure you check it out. If you're on the My Disney Experience app and you go to the pass holder section there, you can see what it's going to be as it's coming. Where am I at? Preview of the Disney Destiny. So this was your article, your review, kind of what we learned.
Yeah, I wrote everything down.
Star Wars Celebration. We put out some of the news and announcements that came out from there on day one.
Last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend. Victoria and Albert's, which is that one restaurant that we want to go to and we've still never been to. They have a Michelin star rating, and you were asking me about that one.
Yeah, because in Michigan, it was just the Michelin man and it was the tire guy. I had no idea it had anything to do with food.
And for those who are wondering really quickly, so Michelin Tires puts out a road trip guide to restaurants and such all over the U.S. So Victoria and Albert's is one of the ones that got one of the highest ratings on their guide of places.
So the tire guy likes expensive food.
He does like it. Yeah. Another article we put out was fun facts about Pirates of the Caribbean. Did you know? Put that one out. Did you know? The Mandalorian, Grogu, and new crew controls coming to Smuggler's Run.
Yes.
Which I'm a bit excited to see that. And you just want to go see the baby.
I got to see a baby.
New Stitch products that just came out.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
Wasn't that today?
It was just launched today. Wrote that up.
And then what I was talking about earlier with free dining and more Walt Disney World offers for 2026 were unveiled.
Yes.
So again, want to check with the MEI Mouse fan about that. Just a couple things from Universal. They're going to begin guest previews on April 17th, and I think that's for annual pass holder previews, which you have to pay for.
Yeah, you do.
Which was, I mean, I can understand if they want to charge something, but like usually when you get an annual pass holder preview, it's usually something because you're an annual pass holder, you get to go do it. But
you get the privilege of giving them money to go see it.
Yeah, I know, but whatever it is. And the Universal Helios Grand Hotel welcomed its first guests already.
I want to go there.
I know. I'm hoping we'll see it during the 4-day media.
I hope so.
So I have a question for you, and somebody sent it in to us.
Get out of town.
They did. So this one's coming from Hannah Prokop, I think, Prokop. Prokop, I believe that's how. Hi, Hannah. Thank you for sending your question. And I will be sending her something in the mail. I was waiting after we asked the question.
Yay.
So, and I already told her I was going to do that. But she asked, if there was to be a Tangled ride at Magic Kingdom, where should it go? And she said some of the other podcasts she's listened to think it'll go into the Small World building, but she doesn't want it there because she loves Small World and she doesn't want it to be replaced. So where would you like to see it if it was to come into the Magic Kingdom?
Okay, Hannah. Well, I thought of Small World as well because other people have mentioned it, but I'm going to agree with you. I think that if they were to change It's a Small World, there would be the worst upheaval ever.
Oh, yeah, because that is a opening day attraction.
Yes, and it's everybody knows the song. It's the whole thing. So I guess there's no room by the Tangled bathroom.
I wonder if they could expand back there. Well, you got the Haunted Mansion part of the ride.
I really feel they would have to create another building, clear some space, move something back, because I don't think that, as far as Fantasyland goes, there's really not a lot of room. And I can't imagine them taking out something else to put in a ride.
Yeah, it would be very hard. I think it would have to go, gosh, it's so hard because I'm trying to think like around Beast Castle, that whole area, if there's any place.
Is there room over there somewhere?
On the other side of Belle's attraction and the castle, if they could put something there. But if I'm not mistaken, though, then it's a Small Worlds building comes to that way. But, well, maybe not because you have Pinocchio's Village House there, the dining option. I would. It's hard to tell what's backstage right there.
Yeah, so basically, if I could look at a map to find out how much land they're working with, if I were, oh gosh, see, it's the whole thing with flow. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to put it someplace where it wouldn't belong.
Right. It has to be Fantasyland.
It has to be Fantasyland. But I don't know. I don't know.
And then you got to worry about the train track because the train track does run somewhere back there.
Hannah, this is a whole situation because I'm not sure where it should go. But I do feel that we need one. I am so disappointed that the Tangled gets the shaft all the time.
It does. But yeah, it needs to be somewhere in Fantasyland, but where is the hardest thing to figure out exactly where? Unless you took out the circus tent in the back where they do the meet and greets for like Santa and other ones.
There we go.
If you could go over there somehow and create some type of attraction over there in that area.
You know, if you think about it, that area back there could have so much more done. I love the circus tent store for whatever reason. I always have.
But I'm talking about the other one that's outside the building. Next to Pete's meet and greet.
I was getting there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the store is right there, but then when you go out, they have the character meet. Right. Then they have that little gazebo area that they used to use all the time for the holiday parties and such.
Yes.
Do they really need it? They don't.
No, and the meet and greets could be done someplace else. They could always move the water, Casey Jr.'s water splash zone or whatever. Maybe, I don't know.
Throw some Tangled back.
It seems like there'd be enough room over there to do something, but you do have the train right there that comes up on the side of that. So your room might be a problem unless somehow, like they do out in California, you go under the train track like they do with the mansion and build on the other side of that.
But then if you put a Tangled ride back there, could that area still be called Storybook Circus? Because they have the flying elephant and, all that. See, so it doesn't go with the circus theme either. I'm just thinking space-wise.
Yeah, I'm thinking space. I mean, you might have to retheme that whole little section there to do that. Or you come through that area and then you walk in the Tangled area. I don't know. It's a very interesting thing to think about where they could put it. And
great question.
Yeah, so we will see. But Hannah, thank you so much for sending in your question. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, and you got my wheels turning over here. Like what? Like where?
She actually sent in a few questions for me to give to you. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll go through her questions.
Oh, we'll have to do more.
Yes.
And if you guys want to have a question read on the air, please send it to us.
Yeah, Scott@themainstreetmouse.com, and I will ask Michele your question on air. I did not give her this beforehand, so she honestly had to think about it on the spot.
He likes to put me on the spot. Like, he doesn't want to give me a heads up on what the question's going to be because he wants me to have to answer on the fly.
I do. And speaking of Tangled, though, today you got word that there's a new makeup line coming.
I'm so stressed.
I know you are, because we have a media event today.
So I just put out an article a little while ago that ColourPop Cosmetics, which is the most affordable cosmetic line that's still quality.
Mm-hmm.
They did the Haunted Mansion one, which I have. Yeah. They've done Hocus Pocus. I have their eyeshadow palette. Lo and freaking behold, they are putting out a Tangled line, and it's going to be on ColourPop's website on Thursday, and then a couple days after that, it's going to be on Ulta.com. Right. I'm stressed so bad because, like, the comments and how crazy that this is going since they announced it. They've been teasing it out, and then today they were like, surprise, Tangled. There's eyeshadow palette. There's going to be lip gloss. There's glitter. There's
Pascal hair thing.
A Pascal hair clip. Oh, little hairbrush. I'm dying. I'm like, you know what? I need to contact someone over.
It's just funny because ever since she read the article, all she keeps doing is making sad faces and little whimpers going, I'm not going to get any of it. Because we're going to be at a media event when it drops, and this stuff sells out like that.
Because it's not expensive.
Right.
Even if I could just get the eyeshadow palette.
Well, we'll try. We'll see what we can do.
You know what? And one of those things, because I know previously, like, the Haunted Mansion stuff sold out, but then they got it back.
Right. And Ulta, and that's the whole thing. If you don't get it on ColourPop's website, well, then you got Ulta dropping
people will go stand in line at the Ulta.
But it'll be online on Ulta also, right?
Yeah, it will.
So we'll both just have both our computers filled up.
I just want some eyeshadow. But the packaging is beautiful, too. So if you are a Tangled fan like me,
Would you use it?
Oh, yeah.
Would you? Or you wouldn't put it aside?
Well,
I'm thinking the collector in me.
Well, darn it. Why'd you say that? Because I was thinking, yes, I'd use it, but I'd have to keep the boxes and stuff.
I say, because once you use it, it's eventually going to run out. And then what do you do with the empty
You know
stuff?
how long it takes me to use stuff?
Oh, I know. You'll save the very last treatment of whatever it is. Or hair. If she has hair shampoo, she will save literally a dime spot full of it to where she can use it later if she wants to, but she never uses it.
I'm always a save it for later type of person. And every eyeshadow palette I have upstairs, which there are plenty.
There's a plethora.
Yes. And none of them are used up because I use everything sparingly and I switch colors all the time.
You do that with everything, though. Like, if you buy Faygo Pop in Detroit to bring home here, you're like,
why you gotta throw me under the bus?
I don't want to drink it all. I don't want to drink it all because then it'll be gone. And then you go to drink it and it's expired. It's like...
I don't know why I'm like that. I like to savor things, and I feel sad when something's all used up and gone, so I try to make things last. So that's just it.
That's just it. So, okay, again, if you have a question for me to ask Michele on the air, email me, scott@themainstreetmouse.com, and I'll ask her for you. Also, we'll send you a prize in the mail if your question makes it to air. Also, Michele's Daydream Believing podcast comes out every Thursday. If you have a question about her show ideas, or just want to comment on it, you can email her, Michele@themainstreetmouse.com. That's Michele with one L, 2 L's. The email won't go through. So it's Michele, Michele, not 2 L's.
And yes, that's how my mother spelled it.
Yes. I just want to mention our sponsors real quick. Our official travel partner, the Main Street Mouse, is MEI Mouse Fan Travel. We mentioned them a couple times during this because there is some great travel deals out there. And if you want to take advantage of those deals or find out exactly what they entail, email them. Go to their website. We have all kinds of banners on our website. If you click on any of those, it'll take you to their website. Fill out a small form. One of their great travel advisors will contact you back. It is free for you, and by using their services, you benefit the Main Street Mouse by doing that. So we appreciate you guys using their services. Also, Kingdom Strollers, our official scooter and stroller sponsor of the Main Street Mouse. They've been around with us since almost day one of the Main Street Mouse 15 years ago. They are absolutely fantastic. They will deliver your stroller or scooter or whatever you want from them. They have a whole lot of things. So if you go to their website, check it out, see if there's any of their services you need. They will deliver. They will pick it up wherever you're staying, resort, hotel, Airbnb, whatever it is. KingdomStrollers.com. Mention to them you heard about them from the Main Street Mouse just so they know where the traffic is coming from. And again, if you use their services, it benefits us. So thank you for that. I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm running out of air in my lungs.
You are running out of air.
I am. I'm gonna crash it. I'm gonna let Michele close out the show. Thanks guys for listening.
Okay, so don't forget to watch our social media on Thursday morning. If you're all about Italian food like myself, we're going to have all the updates over at the Italy Pavilion at Epcot. Plus, always stay tuned to our socials because I am putting stuff on social media every day, all day. So, wherever there's social media, find us because we're there. Okay, so on that note, I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, magical week ahead, and we will see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings. Watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home.
Some imagination, huh?